So, nah.
Who's the man?
Here's our chance for an all-out attack! Throw me at him! Stupid faggot little cocksucker! Come on, this fight's not over!
Gotcha! Here goes! Should we show him who's boss? All right! Get out of my face! And chew on this! This fight will be your death.
Okay, guys, let's do it! Nice cock! Looking hung, Joker!
It's been a bit over 2 years since I started the Persona series. My friend Manic gifted me a copy of Persona 5 Royal, and I fell in love with it almost immediately. When people think of the Persona series, I'd be willing to bet they immediately think of the story, setting, music, characters, and rightfully so. But when you're done cheating on tests by looking up the answers, running around town forgetting where you need to go, and rizzing up the bitches, you'll be taking down hordes of shadows. You'll spend a lot of time in Tartarus, the TV world, mementos, and palaces. Combat is a core part of the Persona games, so after the hundreds of hours I've collectively put into the series, I want to ask the question: what Persona game has the best combat? It's Persona 5 Royal, like, come on, it's obvious. Persona 4 has the most basic combat. 1 physical damage type, 5 elemental types if you include Almighty, and light/dark attacks are only insta-kills. 1 more is as basic as it can get. It doesn't do anything extra, no buffs, nothing like that. It just allows you to chain all your different attacks until you pull off an all-out attack. Sometimes you'll get a chance to pull off a 2-person combo, or Chie will just yeet a shadow into oblivion.
Ready to go! Ha! Yeah!
Overall, it's the most simple Persona game, but that can be a positive. Less is more, as they say. I can 100% understand why someone might prefer the simpler combat that Persona 4 has if you forget that you spend a lot of time in the TV world. By the time you add Chie and Yukiko to the team, which is pretty early on, you will have access to all the damage types you need, besides the insta-kills and Almighty, which Chad Narukami can easily handle himself in the late game. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not talking trash on everyone else in the investigation team, but Persona 4 really is the most I like these characters more when it comes down to who you primarily use. Persona 4 is really carried by its story, aesthetic, and characters, and that is a-okay. A lot of what I said about Persona 4 can apply to Persona 3 for the most part. Oddly enough, Persona 3 does have multiple physical damage types. Other than that, it has the same amount of elemental attacks. What sets 3 apart from 4 are a handful of mechanics that affect how you will deal with your team. The most obvious mechanic, and the one Persona 3 is most known for, is your party is controlled through AI. AI in my Persona game? How dare they?
I'm gonna kill myself!
Persona 3 Portable came out after Persona 4, so it gives the player direct control. I like this change a lot. If I'm gonna wipe to an enemy, I'd like it to be because I screwed up, not because the AI wanted to troll me.
I feel a strong presence. It must be death.
Oh no. Oh shit. Shit. Fuck. No. No.
No, no. Wait.
I like it, cut G.
Another mechanic unique to Persona 3 is how your party will get tired as you explore Tartarus. Sometimes characters can get sick before you even start exploring. This is the last surprise you would want, especially if you haven't been leveling up your other party members. This fatigue system is a good way to make the player balance everyone out properly, but I can understand why some people might not like it. It was even removed from Reload, so there's that. I haven't played enough of Portable to say I like or hate it, but it's something that makes 3 completely different from every other Persona game. This might be a hot take, but I do like how in 3, if you're blindly running into fights, some of your party members might get left behind and not show up in the fight. I think it's cool, and it makes you keep track of everyone before you enter combat. Personally, I was just blindly running around in Persona 4 and 3 Reload, so this giving you a consequence to not paying attention is good. It's not hard to keep everyone together, but if you're not focused, it can really bite you in the ass. And you know what, since I brought up Reload, let's take a quick look at it. Just like in Persona 5, Reload made light and dark skills actual attacks. Characters get extra buffs throughout the game when you hang out with them, but the best change has to go to the theurgy attacks. They're so good. It's one of the best things about Reload. These big cinematic attacks really help with the ebb and flow of combat. They help make it feel like you're actually building up to something towards the end of a fight.
No hard feelings, Kay. So don't hold anything back.
You the man, Junpei! Always remember, you the man!
Reload also added the shift mechanic, and some characters like Metis get extra buffs after receiving a shift. By all means, it's a great addition. However, Royal's baton pass system just has so much more depth. The biggest praise I can give Royal is how it made the social sim part of the game integral to the RPG part of it. By progressing many different characters' confidants, you'll get really impactful combat buffs, switching characters mid-fight, insta-killing basic shadows, and a lot more. In order to rank up the baton pass, you have to do the start minigame, which helps the feeling that you and the Phantom Thieves really are bonding and getting close to one another. It takes a lot of time to level up everybody's baton pass to rank 3, but when you do have everyone fully ranked up, it feels so good to chain a baton pass from one guy to the next. And then you use a move that gets a buff after receiving the pass. Look, I'm a simple man. I see a big number, and I get big happy.
Goemon, strike!
Nice.
Now, Persona 4 does kind of do this. When you finish a social link with one of your teammates, their personas will evolve. This is a great way of showing how close the characters have gotten with you, but it's only at the end of their links. This is perfectly fine, but Persona 5 took it a step further by adding these extra bonuses throughout the social link. The older Persona games, they're split up into just two different halves. You have the RPG side and the social sim visual novel side. They're both good individually, but they're not mixed together. They're like water and oil. They're both there, they're both together, but they're not mixed. Or maybe the yin-yang symbol would be a better representation of this, where they both have a little bit within each other, but not enough to greatly affect it. And going back to the baton pass, this game has its own dedicated, for lack of a better word, combo trial where you can fight progressively harder and harder fights. It really makes you think about how to use the baton pass to its fullest. I absolutely love this. It really gives you a good measurement of how much stronger you've gotten over the course of the game, alongside how much better you've gotten at utilizing all the tools you have access to. Royal also managed to make the status ailments actually good. In my 3 and 4 playthroughs, I never used charm, fear, rage, etc. 99% of the time, you can easily kill the weaker shadows by just attacking them. And most bosses are immune to statuses, so all you can do is just wail on them. Obviously, they're not completely useless, especially in the early game if you don't have access to a full party. But by the mid game, the best thing to do is just attack. Royal completely changed this, making specific damage types get additional effects if the enemy is statused. Feels great. If you get a lucky shock, you could deal huge physical damage. Confusion makes psychic damage hit even harder, and so on and so forth. And let's not forget the most important thing Persona 5 added. Every character gets a gun.
But it's a lucky thing I had my pieces.
Your pieces.
My gun.
Oh.
Anyway, I started blasting. Bang!
All jokes aside, letting every character use some form of a pierce attack is great, and you can customize the guns. Making a specific gun have a higher chance of inflicting a status condition just adds to my previous point that the statuses are actually worth using. Persona 5 also made the dungeons fun. You get to do things besides run from staircase to staircase. Now, whether or not you like the puzzles in these palaces is completely up to you. And to be fair, there are some frustrating ones. I'm not denying that. Gotta think this through. Am I just dumb as hell? Why? Why do I have to be so stupid? No, fucking... I'm not saying every palace is perfect, but I think it's really underrated just how much effort went into overhauling the dungeons and the core combat in Persona 5 Royal. The tag team moves, the damage types, the amount of tools you have access to, and a lot more, which is what you're supposed to do when you're working on the next game in a series. If I had to pick something that I don't like about Royal, gun to my head, say something you don't like, it's that there are only 2 physical damage types. I can at least understand 4 dropping it down to just 1 to make it simpler, but why is it just 2 in Royal? Why? It's such an odd number, pun entirely intended. We've gone from 3 to 1 to 2, it's so weird. If everyone had a limited amount of pierce attacks, but some characters had strike or slash, that could add a little extra more depth to the characters you primarily use. But you know that I really like the game when my biggest complaint boils down to I just want one more. Persona 3 and 4 are great, their combat perfectly fine. To be fully transparent though, I've only played 4 Golden, 5 Royal, and 3 Reload. At the time of recording this, I just started playing Persona 3 Portable. Maybe the original versions of 3 and 4 do something better than Royal. Hell, maybe Royal isn't as good as the original Persona 5. I can only talk about the games that I've played. Even then, I'm no expert at these games. I'm sure that there are some things that I've missed out on talking about. If you could think of anything cool that Persona 3 and 4 did that I forgot to mention, tell me about it in the comments. In fact, I just realized I didn't even talk about the Navigators, but that's because they're practically the same. They scan enemies for weaknesses, cast buffs on the team, and heal the party after battle. Rise and Futaba are able to save the player from a fatal attack, but Fuka doesn't get the skill, even in Reload. The few differences the Navigators do have is really based on the new mechanics the games introduce, like Fuka's Oracle skill being changed to her Theurgy. I really like what they did for Fuka in Reload. Although I rarely ever used them, it's still cool that they gave her a bunch of extra skills to use in Tartarus. I wanted to look at the SMT wiki to see the Navigator skills in the games that I haven't played, just to make sure I didn't say something wrong on the internet because the Persona fanbase is filled with autists who throw me into the TV if I got something incorrect. And there is fuck all nothing here. Are we really surprised to see that the game with the worst combat also has the most useless Navigator? Seriously, how the hell did anyone get through the original version of Persona 4?
Drake? What? Where's the door hole?
If I had to rank the Navigators, it would go Futaba, Fuka, and then Rise, but I wouldn't be surprised if some people would say that Fuka can be worse than Rise.
I haven't had to use any Oracle. What is Oracle again? Oh, that's Fuka's random buff command.
Invoking Oracle.
Oh. Yeah.
I guess he's in trouble. We need you. Please.
Now, if I had to rank them on their characters, it would go Futaba, Rise, and then Fuka. Just accept it, guys. Fuka is mid at best.
Why you boring me? I'm right.
I mentioned this earlier, but I didn't play the series in order. I started off with Royal, 3 Reload, 4 Golden, and then I played the episode I Guess DLC. My thoughts have the benefit of hindsight, but it was a lot of fun seeing all the ways the series has improved over the years, and I can't wait to see what cool new things Persona 6 will have. Funny enough, in the time it took me to stop being a depressed retard and finish this video, the Persona 4 remake is all but confirmed. I can't wait for another 10 years of Kanji and Yosuke are gay or Naoto is trans bullshit discourse, but maybe it'll all be worth it if the TV world doesn't suck complete ass. I know I've been singing the praises of Royal this whole time, but I believe it deserves it. Obviously, Persona 5 Royal is not perfect. A common criticism of the game is that even on the harder difficulties, it's still pretty easy. There are a few fights that are notorious for how difficult and frustrating they are, like Okumura's boss fight, that's the exception. A game's difficulty isn't an indicator of its quality though. There are good games that are really easy, just like there are really hard games that are pretty bad. Royal is easy, but that doesn't mean it's bad. I had a lot of fun playing it, and the combat portions of the game are a big reason why I enjoyed it as much as I did. In my humble and 100% correct opinion, Persona 5 Royal has the best combat.
It's showtime!
This program is brought to you by the following sponsors.
We can't back down from this, right?
Now you're talking, partner.
The investigation team is back in action.
Ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the wait. It's time to get our show started.
I'm proud to announce the opening of our very own P1 Grand Prix!
What the hell was that carnivore who's discarded womanhood crap? I eat vegetables too, and I haven't discarded my womanhood.
Bring it on then. I'm all fired up and ready for action. It's my dream, and I can do whatever I want. Feel the pain!
You're not me. You can't be me. Yes, that's right. I'm not you. I'm myself.
Anyway, just trust me on this. I will always be your friend. There's only one Teddy, and I'm the best there is at being me.
Whoa, white guy! I'm Junpei Iori, the nuclear warhead of the Shadow Operative Missile. Lame, not lame. Is that your problem here? This isn't the time to care about looking cool. Not when it involves something you care about. If you get a hit, you'll be a hero. Are you gonna try for a Grand Slam?
I'm Sho Minazuki. We are Sho Minazuki.
The world will be much quieter soon. Just like here. A wonderful place where there's no one else. It's all for me!
I don't know, I might be overthinking this, but is it possible that it could be Adachi?
Don't think we're the same, you little brat. You think the whole world hates you just because someone didn't treat you right. You're nothing but a little kid throwing a tantrum. Needs to be punished properly.
That's right. You're me. You're the way I was on the inside. Screaming to be understood. The pain wanting to be known. You were always inside me. You're me. A machine with a heart.
I'd rather be alone forever than spend another second having to deal with another dipshit ever again. So you can all just disappear!
That ain't true. You don't really want to be alone at all.
You are strong. You don't realize it either. Your strength, it's founded on the strength of your bonds.
Ugh, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up! Just hurry up and get smashed to pieces, you shitty peasant!
Izunai!
Go, Jiraiya!
Come on! Dance on you!
Take Mikazuchi!
Kentucky Doji!
Sukuna Higuna! Now! Himiko! Artemisia!
Caesar!
Athena! Please, Isis!
Trismegistus!
Colonelli! Thanatos! Go, Ariadne! Asterius!
Mangle them!
Izanagi! Persona!